Hi Brandon, just finished watching your video of how your school system, Pickens County, drafted their vision and mission statement for your system. I do like that you took the approach of discussing the entire system's vision and mission statement. I think that's particularly important in your case where you are working in a small school or small system with only one high school, a few middle schools, and a few elementary schools. I think it's especially important for your community to have that close-knit vision and mission statement and stay true to those core values that your community wants. That was evident in the words and the terms that you used in the vision and mission statement. I love that you all used a nurturing environment. It's been my experience in the past growing up in a small school system, that is very much what my parents wanted, and community members wanted from our schools, from our teachers and our leaders within our school system, is they wanted a school system where they knew that their children were obviously going to learn, but first and foremost that they were going to be safe and that they were going to be nurtured in that way. You guys definitely had some best practices that stood out to me. One of which was that your superintendent was very involved in the drafting of that vision and mission statement, as well as school members, staff members, community members. Again, I think a theme across the board for all of our school systems is that we don't involve children, the actual students that we're serving, as much as we probably need to. And I think that's a difficult task for small schools or large schools, small systems or large systems, either one. A couple of things that are different in terms of the way your system approached this particular task of creating a vision and mission statement versus the way that my particular school approached it, is that we did not have the involvement of our area superintendent or our superintendent. We were working just within our school building to create our vision and mission statement. However, our system does do a good job about branding and creating a county-wide vision and mission statement that we are to also adhere to, and that is one team, one goal, student success, very much like what you all have done in your system. Another thing that I really loved that you mentioned is that there was a definite emphasis on safety. You mentioned some actionable steps that you guys have taken within your county to make sure that you're meeting that requirement with your students, one of which is that you have those that SRO task force on every campus that sends a message to the parents in your community and the members in your community and even the taxpayers in your community that you are using school funds appropriately and that is to provide safety, which is something that you outlined in your vision and mission statement. I love that you spoke about the teachers coming back to your county, especially this does happen a lot with small counties, is that you have native residents to the county who are actually educating the next generation of students, and so there is that vested interest, and I think that is important. So that's something I feel like is the strength of your county. And then lastly, in terms of your vision and mission statement, I love that you spoke about educating children, but you didn't do that as the first thing. The first thing that you said was that safe, nurturing environment, which we know are pillars of students being able to learn. If they're not in a safe and nurturing environment, learning cannot authentically take place. So I think that you guys definitely have a great grasp on number one, what your community wants from you, and number two, how to achieve the goals that you've set out in your vision and mission statement in terms of meeting the needs of the students and then the broader community at large. Excellent job on presenting that information. I hate that you weren't personally able to be a part of that conversation when it took place. I do think that unfortunately, just with managing those situations, that's not always feasible for every single member of a community to be a part of that structuring committee. But as long as, like your school system did, the right people are in place and a good representation of all the people groups that are supposed to be there. Again, superintendent, school members, leadership members, former teachers of the year, and teacher of the year candidates are there. That's a good sampling of a voice for at least the adults in play. And then we've already mentioned and talked about the fact that probably all systems across the board need to have some work in terms of incorporating that student voice. Again, excellent job. I think Pickens County is a great county to raise a family and obviously educate students.